A push to use super for home deposits. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Still working through my stein of coffee. I thought we'd have a look at this article from Yahoo Finance. It's discussing, pushes to allow people to use super for home deposits, and the unions wanting to stop people from having access to their own money. Now, there's two sides of this. One, it could very well overheat the market and exacerbate the property bubble. And two, it's people's money. Having a home paid off before you enter retirement is, frankly, a much better outcome than having, a couple of $100,000 in super to help you live off, but still renting and needing to depend on the pension. Your life, if you have the security of a home, is going to be a lot better. All the data points to that. And that's what I'd agree with. And I find it ironic, or not really ironic, it's just bloody annoying. All these boomers that were, a lot of them that got to go to uni for free here in Australia, completely for free during the Whitlam days when they made education free, and they weren't forced to have a portion of their pay taken away from them and stuck in super that they couldn't get till they were 70, bought all these houses much more affordably back in the 80s, telling us how to live our lives. It's just a little frustrating. It'd be a bit easier if you had that money stashed away. Then you got other people making the argument, look at how people are wasting their super money when they take it out now. They're too dumb to know how to do this. And that's just some people, I guess, have a paternalistic urge. They want the state to come in and manage the personal affairs of people. Sure, there's a level of people that enjoy that authoritarianistic tangent. They probably don't even realize it. People should have the right to make stupid decisions. And a lot of them will. But sometimes it's those stupid decisions. You burn some money on something. You will learn. You'll be humbled and you will learn anew and not make that same mistake. Who hasn't learned through doing stupid things? Guaranteed we all have, and that's part of life. But that's, my argument would be that's not enough to stop people from getting access to what is essentially theirs. And remember, the unions here are pushing to keep money in the hands of the finance industry, the bankers, the union and retail-controlled super funds. It's a big industry. It is a big industry. They make a lot of money off it, guys. They really do. And it's all our cash that's taken away. What if you don't even live that long? Then 10% of your money's been stashed away forever. You don't get. What if you don't have any family? Where does it go? So, Australian politicians have called for a greater easing of superannuation rules to allow first home buyers access to more of their super. As it stands, the First Home Super Saver Scheme allows first home buyers to access up to $30,000 of their super in voluntary contributions. But Liberal Senator Andrew Bragg believes the mandatory contributions should also be accessible, as he detailed in his book, Bad Egg, How to Fix Super. What do you think? Do you think simply allowing people to access a portion of their super to a cap, to get them into a home, to get the stability of a home? I think that's a perfectly reasonable idea. My concern is that it'll just exacerbate the bubble we have in the housing market, but we need to find ways to get people accessing their own money. I can tell you from my own experience, it was quite frustrating having a whole pile of money sitting there in super when you couldn't use it to get into a house, and that's all you wanted, just some stability. The system costs more than it saves. There should be more flexibility. Australians should be allowed to access super for a first home. A home is more important than super, Bragg said earlier this month. What do you think, everyone? Do you think a home is more important? Sure, you could make more money in your super if you leave it in there, but psychologically, having a paid-off home could be a better thing. It could reduce your level of stress. I was watching another YouTuber the other day who took a big chunk of money and paid off his mortgage in his 30s, like $300,000. He was in the US, paid off $320,000 off his mortgage, debt-free. And everyone's going, you're stupid, you should have left it in these funds because it would have grown to millions of dollars. And he goes, yeah, but I want it to be debt-free. And I can relate to that. I can appreciate that. Just that level of stress niggling away at you is probably worth more than all that money you'll have in your old age. Probably not having the stress spikes or the worries is probably better for your quality of life. What's more important? having money when you're at the end of your life, or having 30 years of no stress, or less stress. I know what I would pick and what I'm aiming for, because the stress, it takes a physical toll on your body, everyone. Ever since I had my children, and we keep pumping our daughters, that's when I started going grey. I'm joking half the time, but it's real. It's when it happened. He said Australians will be better off in retirement if they own property, regardless of their super balance. Yeah, I agree with him there. What do you think? Australian Bureau of Statistics data released earlier this year found that in 2017-18, households where at least one person was older than 65 and owned their house had a median net worth of $960,000. That dropped to $934,000 for similar households who were still paying off their homes. Conversely, the median net worth of a renting household is $40,000. I mean, there you go. For MPs Andrew Hastie and Dave Sharma have voiced their support on social media. For most Australians, their family home will be their most important form of wealth and the basis of their retirement savings. Helping more Australians own their own home can only be a good thing, Sharma said on Instagram. Now, the Australian Council of Trade Unions has hit back, describing calls as pandemic profiteering on Wednesday. This is a form of pandemic political profiteering from people who've always opposed the retirement savings system that was put in place by workers, businesses, and government working together, the ACTU Assistant Secretary Scott Connolly said. I mean, this is just an example where the unions don't want you, and the left don't want you to have control over your own money, because they know better. They know better. It's the paternalistic and controlling nature of the collectivist political ideologies. The government cannot ask workers to accept a trade-off arrangement where people are being asked to choose between poverty now or poverty later. Australian workers deserve better now and in retirement. No, we've just got evidence here that you won't have poverty if you're older. You'll be worth more if your home is paid off. And sure, that's been a period of property growth, even if property takes a hit. Even if it takes a hit. I'd like to see some data on the health outcomes. That's what I'd be interested in. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you've got any evidence of the difference in health outcomes between someone living in an owned home and someone not. I wonder if that's been researched. I should really look it up, but I'm not that organised today. Connolly also noted MPs' push for the stated superannuation increase to be paused. Yes, because, well, that's more money out of people's pockets. If you paid above award in a package, your employer can just say, well, I'm not giving you a pay rise. Sorry, I can't afford it. Times are tough. We'll just transfer more of your package to your super. That's how it works. So it'll be less money in people's pockets. Don't people realize that? MPs Katie Allen, Russell Broadband, Eric Apps, and Sharman are among the group of politicians arguing the scheduled increase from 9.5% should not go ahead this year, according to the Sydney Morning Herald. The mandatory super contribution of 9.5% of the worker's salary is set to increase to 10% on July 1, 2021. That's it. That's... Opponents to the increase argues it suppresses wages. Yeah, it does. It does. And because I know everyone's talking about the minimum wage, but guys, most people aren't on it. Most people are above it. But Connolly said further raids on super will be damaging after the government allowed Australians in hardship to access their super early. These backbenchers need to be put in place by the Morrison government, and workers need to be given reassurance that their retirement savings will go up as currently legislated, and people will not be forced to raid their retirements to pay for housing, Connolly said. You're forcing people to lock more of their money away until they're old. You're taking money out of their hands. Why are the unions doing this? Why? Why are they on the side of the finance and banking industry? Aren't they meant to be representing the workers? Don't the workers want more money in their hand to increase their quality of life, to pay for their bills? Industry Super Australia, and there you go. Because they're in bed with they make a lot of money from this. Industry Super Australia Chief Executive Bernie Dean made similar calls, warning a generation of Australian workers will be dumped on the pension if the scheduled increase doesn't go ahead. How many people are already going to be dumped on the pension? How many people can't even afford their own home? How many people are struggling, and we're entering a tough recession? So super withdrawals in the spotlight. The ATO recently warned it is scrutinizing the details of people who've withdrawn their super early but who aren't in genuine hardship. The warning came after reports of Australians using their super to purchase cars and luxury items. It warned those who don't have a solid reason to withdraw their super will be required to pay tax on the amount and even cop a $12,600 fine if including misleading information in their applications. Well, there you go. So they approved it, ticked it, gave you your own money, and then they're going to fine you. Can you see why people don't trust the state, why they don't trust the government, and why the unions want to keep this money locked away for their own profit-making needs and supporting the finance and the retail union sector? I mean, there you go, everyone. What do you all think? Do you think people should be able to access a portion of their super to buy their first home, to get them in a house? Problem is, it's common sense. We can't have that from our politicians. As always, please let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. What would you rather? Reduce stress or more money in the end? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via using our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay or Independent Reserve and Kucoin. You can buy our merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you in the next episode.